Vladimir Kramnik was one move away from spoiling the party. He was one move away from denying Magnus Carlsen his much-awaited World Championship match against Vishy Anand. What happened next would become one of the most dramatic collapses in chess history. This is the story of the 2013 Candidates Tournament, and trust me, if you think chess is boring, this tournament will change your mind. In 2013, the Classical Candidates Tournament celebrated a comeback. After the scandal at the Candidates Tournament 1962 in Curaçao, it took 51 years before the FIDE returned to this format to establish the challenger of the world champion. The field was staggering. The loser of the World Championship match 2012, the top 3 finishers in the World Cup 2011, the 3 highest-rated players, and the organizers' wildcard. 8 of the planet's strongest grandmasters gathered for a double round-robin format, each player facing every opponent twice, once with white and once with black. Magnus Carlsen entered as the clear favorite. At just 22 years old, his rating had soared to an unprecedented 2,872, the highest in history. For many, this tournament seemed a mere formality on Carlsen's inevitable march to the throne. The tournament started cautiously, with all 4 games in the first round ending in draws. But things heated up in round 2 when Aronian defeated Gelfand and Radjabov beat Ivanchuk. By round 3, the tournament was taking shape. Carlsen scored his first win against Gelfand, while Aronian defeated Ivanchuk to take the sole lead with 2.5 points from 3 games. After 6 rounds, Carlsen and Aronian were tied at 4.5 points, a full point and a half ahead of their nearest rivals. It looked like the tournament was becoming a 2-horse race, exactly as many had predicted. Round 8 is when everything started to change. While Carlsen and Aronian drew their game against each other, the Russian former champion defeated Peter Svidler. This victory brought him within a point of the leaders. Though Carlsen won a nice game against Gelfand in round 10, he also seemed to get nervous because Vladimir Kramnik was suddenly winning one game after the other. Then came round 12, the moment that turned the entire tournament upside down. Playing with the black pieces against Aronian, Kramnik produced a masterclass and won the match. But the real shock came on the top board. Just like that, the chess world was stunned. In a single round, the tournament had been flipped on its head. Kramnik now led with 8 points, while Carlsen had fallen to 7.5.
Have you ever cried after a game of chess?
Yes, many times. He's telling the truth.
Just out of curiosity, when was the most recent time?
Probably the last time I can remember was the London Candidates in 2013. Yeah, seems like
True.
The finish of the tournament could hardly have been more dramatic. In round 13, Kramnik and Gelfand drew, while Carlsen won against Radjabov in a game that seemed to be impossible to win. So after 13 rounds, Carlsen and Kramnik were tied at 8.5 points each. But here's where tiebreak rules suddenly became very important. The first tiebreak was head-to-head score. They drew both games, so that was equal. The second tiebreak was the number of wins throughout the tournament. Carlsen had 5 wins, Kramnik had 4. This meant Carlsen was effectively ahead. Kramnik had to score more points than Carlsen in this round to win the tournament outright. A draw for him would only be good enough if Carlsen lost his game. Carlsen just needed to match the Kramnik's result. If they both draw, Carlsen wins on tiebreak. If they both win, Carlsen wins on tiebreak. If they both lose, Carlsen still wins on tiebreak. 14 rounds of brutal chess, and it all comes down to this single day. Kramnik was playing against Ivanchuk, and Carlsen was playing against Svidler. Knowing that the odds of Carlsen losing with white twice in one tournament were astronomical, Kramnik went for the perk defense, basically going for an all-out kill against Ivanchuk. But Ivanchuk punished his excessive opening aggression and quickly took over the initiative. In the 36th move, Kramnik had a chance to draw the game by capturing Ivanchuk's rook on a6, but then he lightly glanced over about the other crucial game. Carlsen, playing white against Svidler, had a drawish position till that time, hence he did not go for rook takes a6. Instead, he goes for rook to c8. Meanwhile, on the other board, Carlsen made some inaccuracies and lost the game, but by then Kramnik's position was so bad that it was impossible to even get a draw. When Carlsen lost his game and saw Kramnik's match after the press conference, he said it was impossible for Ivanchuk to lose this position. Exactly at that moment, Kramnik resigned.
Yeah, but this... I think this cannot possibly go wrong for Ivanchuk. Yeah. It says 1-0 here.
It was all over. Ivanchuk equally destroyed both Kramnik and Carlsen edges out on tiebreak and wins the candidates. Later that year, Carlsen becomes the world champion by beating Vishy Anand in World Chess Championship. But had Kramnik drew that game on last round, history would have been a lot different. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I've compiled my all video in one playlist, and I've provided the link in the description. Thanks again.